Guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Before we get into the topic, I would love to have you guys join these awesome people here on the side of the screen. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is where I record these videos. So if you want to be here behind the scenes while that's happening, that's what these people are doing. So again, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It doesn't cost you any money. Also, these t-shirts right here are going to be either live when this video is out or very, very soon. So if you want to pick these up, we also have a ton of other stuff that's going to be coming out. Sizes all the way up to 5XL, international shipping. You guys can check those out. There will be a link in the description. Obviously, all of that stuff helps me out and helps the channel out. Alrighty, so today I wanted to talk about something. I actually kind of talked about this on stream recently. I didn't end up making a video about it, but more stuff has kind of happened to where I wanted to share my thoughts on this. So this is basically going to be me ranting and just sharing my thoughts. So something that I've been dealing with as of late is a lot of people, one, saying that I've changed, right? And that's something that I've dealt with for the past quite a long time. But also a lot of people I've seen almost saying oh, do you even work out anymore? Or do you even care about fitness anymore? And all of that stuff, right? And I think it's kind of funny. I think part of the reason, and this might sound silly, and it might not be true, but I really do think this is part of the reason. I think part of the reason so many people message me and saying I don't think it doesn't even look like you work out, or I don't even think you work out anymore, is honestly because I'm wearing bigger clothing. This shirt right here is a size 2XL, right? And so they fit me large. I'm wearing large pants. And I feel like because I'm not wearing super tight clothing, people are they can't see my quote unquote muscles. And so they're just oh, you don't even like fitness. So I kind of wanted to share with you guys, this is something that I did recently to my Instagram. I changed the, I changed my bio. So here is my Instagram right here. And it says, John David Glad, that's me. And it says, I lost weight and now I hate the fitness industry. We'll get into that. Follow me to waste your time, and your favorite influencer's least favorite influencer. All right. So when I say I hate the fitness industry, and you certainly could probably get that idea from watching my videos, I think the reason that I say that is because it's more so I guess I am disenfranchised with the fitness industry because I get so incredibly frustrated because I am inside of it, right? I am part of the fitness industry. I make my money, I make my living by making these videos and being part of the fitness industry. And I know what goes into a lot of the stuff that people sell, a lot of these programs, all of these things. And a lot of times I have noticed, and it's incredibly frustrating to me, is that people will overcomplicate fitness and weight loss as a way to make money off of their followers. So a lot of people, it seems, get into fitness, and I even get messages of oh, I want to lose weight, but I want to gain a following. How do I do that? And my answer is that shouldn't be a reason why you're doing it. Same thing if you're just getting into fitness. Oh, I want to get into fitness. How do I get a following? That shouldn't be why you get into it, right? I guess a perfect way for me to explain it is right now I am really into skateboarding, right? This is something that we'll talk about later, but as you can see, I have all these skateboards behind me. I skate all the time right now. In my head, there is zero thought of, wow, I really love skateboarding. How do I gain a following for that? Because that's not why I'm doing it, right? I am skating because I enjoy it thoroughly, and it's something that brings me joy and happiness, and that's why I'm doing it. And so I am sharing that thing, which is skating, because it's something that I do, and something that I also do is Instagram, and so I share it onto my Instagram. I don't put it on my YouTube because honestly it'd be kind of pointless. Nobody would watch it. And again, I'm not doing it because I'm trying to gain followers from skateboarding, right? But it seems like so many people get into fitness and get into weight loss because they see that it can be lucrative, and they see that, they can make money and make a living off of it. When I first got into making these videos, making the Instagram posts that I make, all of that stuff, there was no such thing especially on Instagram, as becoming like an influencer and making money off of that. It just didn't exist, especially in fitness, right? Same thing when I started my YouTube. One, I never thought it would get to the size that it is now. That's not why I did it. It was literally, how do I help people with losing weight? Now, another big thing, so we're getting into YouTube now, is a lot of people will say, well, I used to love your content back when you did full day of eatings, back when you did XYZ stuff, right? I hear this all the time, and that's fine. If you don't like the content now, understandable. It's very different than it was back in the day. But at the end of the day, when it comes to losing weight, and this might be a hot take, but when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to weight loss and fitness, the things that you have to do are very simple. They are very simple. And I have made videos on all of them. I have talked about how to lose weight, and I've shared multiple videos of breaking it down from the start and how to go from there. Like, I've made that video literally probably 5 times, maybe 6 times. There's not much more to say on that. As far as my full day of eatings, right? I have made, I don't even know how many Feeding the Beast. I think it's like in the 70s, maybe it's 80s, 100. I don't know. It's a lot. I've made a lot of Feeding the Beast episodes, which were my full day of eatings. The thing is that the way that I eat now is the same as it was basically 2 years ago. Not much has changed. So there's not much for me to share. And something that's important to me is I am not going to put on a show and fake what I am eating for the day so I can make another full day of eating, because that's not truly showing what I am eating. The things that I am eating now are the things that I was eating back then. It hasn't changed. And so there's no reason in my head to make a full day of eating showing you exactly, literally, almost exactly the same thing. So I don't do it. So what does that mean? So that means that I have decided to start making videos where I am talking about other things that are going on in the fitness industry. Whether that is, me talking about this thing, talking about that thing, talking about how I agree with what this person is saying, talking about how maybe I disagree with what this person is saying. Like, all of those things, that's what I do now. And a lot of people, they hate that. If you talk about anything other than your original content, you're being a hater, yada, yada, yada. That's fine if that's what you believe. But obviously, this has been my content for a few years now, so that's not going to change. But another thing that has changed for me a lot is, like I talked about, skating and finding other things that have piqued my interest. So for me, like I said, skating has been a huge thing that has really piqued my interest. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I post about it all the time. I probably talk about that more than I talk about fitness. Does that mean that I no longer care about fitness? No, but it just means that I'm very interested in skating. So something about me, this is kind of going on a tangent, but that's what this video is I have ADHD. I don't know how severe it is. I used to take medication when I was a kid. I took Ritalin. It was called ADD then, and now I guess it's only called ADHD. There's no such thing as ADD. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But something about me is I get very hyper-focused on things. So the first time that this ever happened to me was actually drumming. So drumming became my entire personality. It was who I was. Before that, I skated, but I never got very good. So I was like pretty into it, but once I found drumming, it became everything to me. And I've talked about drumming in the past because that was the first time I became successful at something I put my mind to. Now, the next thing after drumming was losing weight. And so I became hyper-focused on losing weight. Hyper-focused. Like, it was all I thought about. It was all that I did. And you can say that that's negative. You can say that that's bad. You can say that that's scary. But I'm just saying this has happened to me multiple times. So my personality went from being a drummer to now being a guy that has lost weight. And then eventually that hyper-focus kind of transitioned into fitness because I lost the weight over a year and a half, and then I got into fitness. I got really into all kinds of fitness. I did bodybuilding. Eventually, I got really into CrossFit. I became a CrossFit guy. A lot of you guys will say, I missed your CrossFit videos, right? I became super hyper-focused on that. And my personality, the things that I did, the way that I dressed, changed based on that, okay? And then I did a marathon, and then I did a triathlon, and then I got into skating, which is where I'm at now. And what has happened? I have become incredibly hyper-focused on this thing. And so on top of going out to skate a lot all the time, it's all that I think about. And so therefore, the media that I consume, of course that inspires me to want to dress like people that I see in these skate videos. And so, yeah, it's changed how I dress. And a lot of people are like, wow, you're changing everything about yourself to like cater to this person, to cater to that person. The reason I am saying all of this is because I want to make it clear. This has been something that I have done my entire life, completely switching up everything about me to, like, if you're on the outside and you're like, whoa, he looks completely different. That's happened to me multiple times because of this hyperfocus. It's something that it definitely is a positive because it makes me, it helps me get, I don't want to say good, but get proficient or learn a lot about a certain thing very quickly. But also the negative is it completely engulfs everything about myself and it's all I can think about. And so if something isn't going super well in that hyperfocus, like if I have a bad day skating, it can literally ruin my entire day. Right? And so another thing that I kind of wanted to share is this watch that I'm wearing right now. This is actually a pretty big deal for me. So for many years, I don't even know, it's been many years, I've always had a smartwatch / activity tracker that I've worn. And so this past weekend, I went and I was like, you know what? And again, this is how my brain works. I literally was on the phone with my girlfriend and I said, you know what? I think I'm done wearing this watch. It was like a Garmin watch that tracked everything, right? I was like, I think I want just a regular watch that doesn't send me notifications because I was always checking my watch, which was getting annoying. And also that I'm not always checking how many steps I'm taking, all of this stuff, right? And so I went that day, went to a place, got a watch. This is just a very normal watch that basically tells time. It's also like a surf watch. I don't surf, so maybe I'm a poser. But it like goes over surf details. But that's it. It doesn't have any smart capabilities. There's no Bluetooth. I can't connect it to my phone. And for me, that is a sign that I am moving forward. Now, does that mean that I hate fitness? No, I work out 3-4 times a week, maybe even 5 times a week still. I just don't post about it all the time because it's just what I do. It's part of my life. And now, with that, am I saying that if you have a fitness tracker, if you have this thing, does that make you a bad person? No. I don't, like, if you want to always wear a tracker, then by all means, go ahead and do it. I don't care. But for me, I got to a point where I was like, I think that I'm done having this thing. One, again, a big part of it, I know I could have just turned it off, but a big part of it was, like, I just didn't like always having notifications on my wrist. So I'd always know when someone texted me, always knew right when someone sent me an email, always knew right when someone did whatever. Like, I would know because it would vibrate on my wrist and I knew something had happened. Now, phone's in my pocket. If I don't feel it vibrate, I check it. Oh, okay, there's some stuff there, and then I can respond, right? But the reason that I know this is all over the place, like I said, this is basically just a rant, but I wanted to share with you, like, this is just how I am. And it's something that it's been how I've done my life for such a long time. And I don't really know how to explain it other than, hopefully how I've explained it in this video. Like, I have always been someone that jumps in fully into stuff. And if I get really into it, I change who I am based on that thing. Like, that might sound kind of like weird or like I get too into stuff. And maybe for you, that might be what it sounds like. And that's fine. That's fine. But I'm like, this is how I've always been. I get really into stuff and it can literally change how I think about things, how I see the world, all of these things. Like, this is something that's been like, I've been like this my entire life. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that, like, my thoughts on, I guess it was like my thoughts on the fitness industry and why I talk about the things that I talk about and why it might seem like I am jaded. When in reality, I mean, maybe I'm jaded, but I feel like I see things from the inside and I can call this stuff out that I'm like, yo, don't do this. Avoid this thing. This is garbage. This is cool. I really like this. You guys should support this, whatever it might be, because I've been there. Right? But also, like, yo, I'm not that same person that was making videos 2 years ago. And I'm fine with admitting that thing. I think a lot of people almost when you get a social media following, people expect you to stay the same, right? I found you when you were like this, and now you're no longer like that, so I don't like you anymore. This is what you hear a lot. And I hear that all the time. But at the end of the day, if I didn't change and I didn't feel like I was being true to who I am, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do this. And so for me, I am going to do what feels right to me, what feels like I am being who I am truly feel like I am, right? And so I just wanted to say that. Like, if you feel like, oh, he's just doing this for that or that, all I can tell you is that I truly believe that everything that I do is because it's something that feels like true to me and who I feel like I am. So I don't know if that made any sense at all. I really don't, but I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on everything that's kind of, just these thoughts that I've had in my head. I've just wanted to get them out. So hopefully that makes sense. I don't know if it helps you out. That's cool. If it really didn't help you out and you're just like, yeah, cool, man, do your thing. That's also great too. Okay.